בנשמתי בכל רבה אמונתך מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים שחזרת בי נשמתי בחלה רבה אמונתך מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים שחזרת בי נשמתי בחלה רבה אמונתך מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך. Let's do that once more. מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך. So welcome to KZOOM on this Christmas Eve.
2020.
So I want to just to bring honor to a teacher of mine who died yesterday, Magid Yitz Buxbaum, and to offer our practice in his honor tonight. He wrote this. He wrote many books, but the book that really touched me was one called Jewish Spiritual Practices. And I was in rabbinical school at the time when I discovered this book, or maybe he had just written it. And I decided to take time, like there was no time to really study it because I was in rabbinical school, if that's ridiculous enough. So I took a leave from rabbinical school so that I could spend really the year studying this book called Jewish Spiritual Practices, because what my life was about was Jewish spiritual practices. And this book really, was kind of a compendium of mostly Hasidic and Kabbalistic practices, and I think a lot from the Baal Shem Tov, but all different Hasidic masters that were written about. And really, the way that the book was divided up was, every aspect of life, every aspect of life, became a different spiritual practice. So, eating, going to sleep, sex, everything, was a spiritual practice. And so it really, I think that book really helped connect me to a lineage. And that was really important because that's what my life was about. So I want to honor Yitz tonight with our practice, and also have to honor Jesus, who was a Jewish prophet in his time, and this time of Christmas, I think I have sort of taken on the meaning, the esoteric meaning of it through Sufism, to mean this is the honoring of the possibility that we can all birth divinity through us. That the birthing of divinity is not one person's job. It's all of us can bring God through us into the world. And so that's how I like to celebrate Christmas. So you said the first Reform rabbi? I don't know, Reform. He might have been Renewal, I think.
Oh, Renewal, for sure.
So,
Yeshua, Renewal.
So in designing this class, I called this class the precious circle. The precious circle. The precious circle. Because there's this idea of a vicious circle, where you keep kind of digging yourself deeper into a hole with a vicious circle, where one thing, a kind of a habit leads to another, which really kind of keeps you stuck. And I like to think of the opposite of that as a precious circle. And the precious circle is a series of practices that we'll do tonight that begins with the receiving of support. And the chant from this week's Love at the Center practice says, Smolo tachat leroshi v'mino techapkeni. And so the words mean are that that his left hand, God's left hand, is behind my head, and his right arm is embracing me. And so it's about receiving that support, leaning into that ultimate container. And today I was looking through a book by Jason Schulman called Receiving God. And he says the ultimate container is God. That is, container that holds but does not contain but allows. It is so big, it allows everything. Only God is big enough to hold all of your contradictions, all of your limitations and difficulties, all of your good and evil. All of you, every part, with nothing left out, is held by God.
That's good.
Yeah. So this kind of, this I call it the widest embrace. The widest embrace is one that doesn't constrict me, but allows the truth of me to emerge. And the journey that I want to take tonight is this idea that if we can really receive that support and receive it from the inside, then something in me relaxes. It's like, because when I am held, I don't have to hold on so tight. Like I go through my life kind of holding it together, but when at the moment I know that I am held, then I relax. And the moment I really relax, then I open. And the moment I open, I can receive. So that's why, and it comes back to receiving again. And then I receive that support that allows me to relax and open and again receive. And I discovered this precious circle at a moment in my life where I was asking for some guidance. I was in a tight spot in my life, and I said, please, I need something. And the guidance responded to me and said, we can't give you nothing. You're not open. And I sort of looked inside, and I saw I wasn't open, and I couldn't open unless I relaxed. And I couldn't relax unless I felt supported. So I began to feel the connection between of this precious circle, and it's got to start somewhere. So I want to start with this sense of really receiving support. And I realized in my life that what kept me from receiving support was that support in my life, the support wasn't always there when I needed it. And so I was a little pissed off. And so then I close instead of receiving it, so that even when it's there. So I think the Song of Songs is saying to us, it's always there. It's always there. And all you need to do is to lean into it. And to feel that, and that embrace is an embrace that has the message of unconditional acceptance and love. And so I want to rest into that, so that I can relax, so that I can open, so that in every moment I can receive what God is giving me. So let's start here. But before we do, just take a look at around the Zoom rooms. Look at so that we can create this container here. Looking around
bright shiny
the
faces.
Zoom room, and I see.
Hello, Eva. It's been a long time.
So, because we want to connect our practice with each other as well to help us in this. So, it's like, imagine that those arms are holding us, and it's a feeling that penetrates my defenses and allows me then to relax. But first of all, to let go of the holding of my own small ego identity. I begin to release that in this embrace.
Embrace.
am resting in this divine embrace. Oh, timeless time and place, let's place.
You want to take a couple minutes just to keep your eyes closed. Bring your attention to the breath, and as you exhale, let go of your own holding. As you inhale, just lean into the divine embrace, entering into timeless time, placeless place, Shabbat consciousness, place of infinite being. So the relaxing that is possible is not just a physical relaxation, it's an inner relaxation. And I remember this year, and I woke up on Rosh Hashanah morning and I looked into my heart and I felt like this restless heart, like a restless heart. And I realized that when I meditate, if I have, if my mind is busy, if I have that monkey mind thing, it's not just about the mind and the thoughts. All of that scatteredness arises from a restless heart. And I remembered on Rosh Hashanah morning this quote from St. Augustine, who said, "My heart is restless till it rests in you." My heart is restless till it rests in you. And it just really touched me. It's like, oh, that's the only antidote to the restless heart, is that resting in God, resting in the wholeness of life. And so I was thinking about what is the chant that kind of represents that inner shift in me. And I thought about this chant from Psalm 94. And it says, Berov Sarapai, Berov Sarapai. And Berov Sarapai Bakirbi. And Berov Sarapai Bakirbi, I translate it as when worries multiply within me. But it is really a description of the restless heart. It's like that, that sort of this place in me that is not settled. And then the second part of the chant says, Tanchumecha. Tanchumecha is your comfort. And it is like the flow of God. And then there's this beautiful word that says, Yeshashu nafshi. Yeshashu nafshi. And it's a word, Yeshashu, that means, I translated it as soothes, but it really has in it this wonderful pleasuring in it too. And that's what your comfort does for my soul, and it settles my restless heart, and with a kind of aliveness, not numbness, but aliveness inside. So Berov Sarapai Bakirbi is this description of that place of of the restless heart that is tense and constricted. What was she saying? That resting in the divine embrace. And so, so we want to allow this tanchumecha yishashu to our nafshi, to our souls, to happen. And you know how sometimes if you're doing a yoga relaxation thing, they tell you, like, first, tense all the muscles and then relax, And so this chant actually plays with that on an inner level, because we keep going back to that berov sarapai, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, and then we allow the tanchumecha to pour into us, to give us that beautiful yashashu in our souls, in our depths. So we move from in this precious circle from receiving the support to learning how to surrender, relax, allow that divine flow to move us. So let's try this practice. Berov sarapai, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, bekirbi, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, bekirbi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, bekirbi, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, bekirbi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, bekirbi, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, berov sarapai, bekirbi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, tanchumecha yashashu nafshi, berov sarapai, berov sarapai,
ישעשו נפשי תנחומך ישעשו נפשי תנחומך ישעשו נפשי ברוב שרפי בקרבי ברוב שרפי בקרבי תנחומך ישעשו נפשי תנחומך ישעשו נפשי תנחומך ישעשו נפשי תנחומך ישעשו
So feel your restless heart just settle inside you. Letting go of all the worries and constrictions, trusting the flow of comfort, flow of beauty. Relaxing on the inside. And then something can happen, and when we are in that, have that inner relaxation, when we feel the support. And we can open. And the idea of Kabbalah, which means receptivity, is the acknowledgement that there is this flow that is happening all the time. It is flowing. Sometimes I'm close to it and sometimes I open, but it is always flowing. And so I'm working with my own aperture here. Mm-hmm. So there is this line in the Ashrei prayer that I remember looking in the Art Scroll edition of, and it had a little star next to this line that said, really concentrate when you say this line. Like, really wake up. Mm-hmm. This is the most powerful line. This holds a key to your well-being, and it says "Poteach et yadecha," and we're talking about that hand of God, the one that just had embraced us. Open your hand. You open your hand, and also all of us. Also, we are opening our hand, our place of receptivity. We're opening it. And that's how this all life will be satisfied with this ratzon, with the will of the beloved in us. So, but to me, this gesture of opening, depends on my awareness that I've closed. Really, then I have to just have some kind of self-awareness that my heart closes, and that there's something I can then do to open. So often when I do this chant, I do it as a dance, and when you can try to see what kind of movement that, because your physical body is kind of like the I don't know, it's the metaphor for your whole being. And sometimes if you're holding something in your physical body, it really represents something, some kind of constriction in the soul, in the flow of God through us. And you can use the physical body to get to the energetic body. So often when I chant this, I say, Poteach et yadecha, and I really feel this whole place inside me here opening, Poteach et yadecha, and then, Poteach et yadecha, and then I want to just call in, sometimes I call it in from the earth, from below me, that divine flow, let it rise up inside me. And then I want to open my crown and allow that divine flow to enter me and fill me. But really it's the gesture of opening that I want to kind of imprint with this chant. Because, when you...
And receiving, opening and receiving. Yeah.
Well, we're going to get to receiving.
Oh, that's next.
Yeah. But
if it happens, it's okay.
If it happens, it's okay. But it's really that opening. Well, when opening, the flow is there. So let's see. And so you might want to just check in both to your body and to your inner being to see, what wants to open now. What feels enough support and enough relaxation to open. Enough trust. Really.
Trust, yeah.
Poteach et yadecha, Poteach et yadecha, Poteach et yadecha, umasbiya al chol chai ratzon, umasbiya al chol chai ratzon, Poteach et yadecha, umasbiya al chol chai ratzon, Poteach et yadecha, umasbiya al chol chai ratzon, Poteach et yadecha, Poteach et yadecha, Poteach et yadecha, umasbiya al chol chai ratzon, umasbiya al chol chai ratzon, Poteach et yadecha, umasbiya al chol chai ratzon, Poteach et yadecha, umasbiya al chol chai ratzon, Poteach et yadecha, את ידך פותח את ידך ומצביע לכל חי רצון ומצביע לכל חי רצון פותח את ידך ומצביע לכל חי רצון פותח את ידך ומצביע לכל חי רצון פותח את ידך פותח את ידך פותח את ידך ומצביע לכל חי רצון ומצביע לכל חי רצון פותח את ידך ומצביע לכל חי רצון פותח את ידך ומצביע לכל חי רצון.
Feel that openness in the breath. Unobstructed flow. So as I was chanting, I was really feeling that vertical axis. The vertical axis is one that connects me to source, both through the crown and the root. Where there's a flow through me that's a vertical flow in both directions, really. It's the flow of God, but the verticality of that axis. And I was remembering how when I used to teach retreats,
in-person retreats. Wow.
I used to teach retreats or classes, and often I would start with establishing the horizontal and the vertical axis. And I would do this kind of as an experiment all the time. We would do a practice to connect us as a circle. And sometimes it was like the life tahor practice where you're bringing everybody into your heart. You know, it would just be this opening up this heart space, connecting the, what I call the horizontal axis through the heart. And then I would do a practice that opened up the vertical axis. And then I would go back to the horizontal axis again. And what I noticed, and what I think everybody else noticed as well, is that it was different. Once that vertical axis had been established, the horizontal axis actually was even stronger, deeper, because it was connected up, right? And I used to do that kind of experiment just to show people how those two axes of energy are related. So as I was chanting this, I got this message from the spirit world that said, oh, this whole time of COVID-19 isolation that we're doing is an opportunity to really get that vertical axis strong. So I'm cut off, in some ways, from that horizontal axis of connecting with all my friends and everything, But I'm taking a break from that so that I can establish that vertical flow. And then when I come back to the horizontal, that vertical axis will be so strong in me that it will give a different quality to the horizontal axis. And so that was the vision that I got, of like, oh, there's a purpose to this time, or this is how I want to use this time to really strengthen that time, since I can't go out, but I'm going to use this time to do that. And then, because I know that when I come back to that horizontal axis, it will be changed by that connection. And you get that, Anyway, and then as I'm doing that, right, and I'm feeling both, then I'm realizing, oh, it's Christmas, and here I am making the sign of the cross. It's all, it's all beshert, So, and actually, when I really learned about that vertical and horizontal axis that meets in the heart, it changed the whole meaning of every time I see a cross. I say, oh, that's the real meaning of the cross. It's not a crucifixion. It's really about finding the meeting place of the vertical and the horizontal axis in our energy systems. And it became very comforting and reminding me whenever I would see a cross. So when what is it? Okay, fire must mean fireworks, right? So here we are, in this precious circle, receiving support, and then relaxing on the inside and opening. And we're doing all of this so that we can continue into the cycle of receiving. And I thought, what do I want to receive? I want to receive all love, all clarity, all power.
Yes.
And also what this chant, which is from the Kedusha of Yotzer in the Shachrit liturgy, is about the different dimensions of being, the angelic realms, really, which are looking for an opening. They are looking for us, are waiting for us to open so that the flow through the realms can happen. And so when I chant this chant, I am really kind of thinning the veils between the dimensions and allowing that angelic energy to come into me in the form of love and clarity and power, meaning God's power that is moving through us. So I want to complete the precious circle with this practice and to really stay connected with the sense of support and of inner relaxation and opening, and that's what's going to make this receiving really happen. So let's. That was too much. Judith Dack's not here. She loves this. She loves when I do this chant.
But Yaffa is. You ready? You ready, Yaffa? Let's go.
Judith said she wanted me to do that chant every single KZOOM. But anyway, here we are. We're So let's begin by feeling this support, the divine embrace. And relaxing inside and opening and knowing that there is this flow happening that's going to sustain us.
Devarim, all love, all clarity, all power.
So I invite you to feel that precious circle. And feeling that support, that divine support within you. In response, relaxing your grip, opening to the blessing of this moment. And receiving. Becoming a Kabbalist, becoming receptive. So I want to invite you to open your eyes, look around the Zoom room, to thank everyone here for this holy container of practice that we need. And how wonderful. So what we like to do is to take about 10 minutes to do a little reflection with each other about practice, because what you noticed. Because whenever you can have someone witness you in your practice, that the effect of it even is strengthened by that witness. So before we say goodbye, I just want to invite you also to go to my website and give a little donation in honor of your practice, that you can sustain us through this time when we're not teaching retreats.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate that.
Makes a huge difference.
And so anybody who is leaving can say goodbye.
Love you, bye.
Go to my website.
Next week,
Be
New Year's
generous.
Eve.
Oh, the next week, New Year's Eve.
Be
Yeah.
here.
We're going to maybe do some affirmation practice next week.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Take a
And so
little
everybody
time.
who's leaving, leave. And then whoever's left, we will gather in little groups of 3 or 4, or let me see. 3, 9, 8. Yeah. And then I will call you back. Let me see. I'll call you back in 10 minutes. Nahama, Andrea, are you? Eva? Andrea and Eva, are you going to? Oh, is it still?
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. Andrea, you see a place where you can press the button and join? Okay. Let's see. And Eva is the only one. Let's see. Eva, you're not going, I guess. Okay, you're not there.